Welcome to Oz the Spectrum Podcast, your go-to destination for all things hip-hop. Join us as we dive into the colorful world of hip-hop music and culture, exploring the diverse interviews, music reviews, and in-depth discussions that showcase the full spectrum of hip-hop. Tune in and turn up the volume, because this is where the beat drops and the culture never stop.
Mike, you know what time it is, man. You know what time it is.
It's swanky time with that new K.L.P.
Ladies and gentlemen, they pulling me in this morning. The Spectrum Podcast is pulling me in this morning. Hey. Ding dong.
You're tuned into the swanky one, new K.L.P.
Hey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spectrum Podcast. You hear the music, you're thinking that it's K.L.P. in the morning, and it is not. It's the Spectrum Podcast, switching some things up. Shout out to the podcasters out there in Atlanta. Got a packed show for y'all today. Hey, y'all know this song, Reminisce, K.L.P. Swanky Aura. New album out today. Get it on all your audio platforms on your phones right now. Hey. Come on. Hey. Come on, Lady Swanky. Shout out to Lady Swanky, y'all. Hey. Come on. She back. Oh, yeah, she back.
You're tuned into the swanky one.
Hey. Come on. Hey. Hey. Come on. Hey. I'm tempted to sing because, we sing this song and put it together, but hey, come on. Shout out to Swanky Aura, Lady Swanky. Shout out to Swanky Records. Like I say, guys, new album from us. Welcome to Love. My new album is out. Get it in your phones right now. Also, you can use Instagram stories and TikTok. We're there too if you want to publish a video using one of our tracks. Hey. Hey. Come on. Make a sound. Hey. On the remix. Yeah. Hey. You back. Come on. Come on. It's a party up in here, y'all. Spectrum Podcast. Shout out to all my cast and crew. Come on. You back. Yeah. Hey. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course, welcome to Love, my new album. It is available right now. That was the song Reminisce from the album. You guys can go and download that song or the whole album on any audio platforms. You have it on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora. Also, the tracks are also on Instagram and TikTok. So if you want to use one of our songs, please feel free. And please feel free to tag us too. Tag my Instagram, tag my radio station, our radio station's Instagram, tag K.L.P Entertainment, so that way we can get the buzz going for this new album. It is called Welcome to Love. Available right now. Go check it out because it's one of those. This track along with other tracks on the song. Yeah, it's been a fun one making this one, and it feels good. This one feels a little bit special because we're streaming it on more outlets now. So, guys, go check it out. It is available right now. right now in your phones. Go, let's check it out. Now, let's get to the Spectrum Podcast. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the show.
Welcome back to the Spectrum Podcast. J. Cole's deleted a 7-minute drill still makes an impressive debut on Billboard Hot 100. J. Cole had everyone hip-hop fans' phone blowing up when he dropped a new project out of nowhere. Might Delete Later is now the German-born MC's first solo tape since the off-season and is essentially full of B-sides and leftovers from the vlog series of the same name. Outside of it being a new release from J. Cole, it had the community in a stranglehold because of the diss response to Kendrick Lamar called 7-Minute Drill. While it was heavily discussed, the consensus seems to be that it felt to be a bit of a stretch and the dissers were a little flimsy. Regardless, a 7-Minute Drill still did well for itself because it just peaked pretty high on the Billboard Hot 100. According to Uproxx, Billboard announced the updated top 10 songs on the Hot 100 chart and the track is poised for a number 6 debut. This is extremely impressive considering our previous points, but also because Cole just removed the song off streaming a few days ago. Fans have been roasting the peaceful rapper for being just that. But if he did not feel comfortable in releasing it to begin with, you have to commend him for sticking to what he believes in and not buying into what the fans wanted. In terms of other noteworthy tracks on this updated list, like that, the song which started all of this trading of shots has now gone number 1 for 3 consecutive weeks. Type S*** by Metro Boomin, Future, Travis Scott, and Playboi Carti is also holding its own in the 9th slot. Furthermore, Beyoncé and Jack Harlow are still going strong with their overnight hits Texas Hold EM and Lovin' on Me, respectively. The only question going forward is, how does Cole feel about deleting the song now? What are your thoughts on J. Cole debuting at number 6 with a 7-minute drill on the Billboard Hot 100 chart? Is this the best song still off of Might Delete Later? Why or why not? Or do these stats not help how inauthentic it was for Cole to make this song? Did he make the right decision deleting the song off the project? We would like to hear what you have to say, so be sure to leave your takes in the comments section. Additionally, always keep it locked in with HNHH for all of the latest news surrounding J. Cole and 7-Minute Drill. Finally, stay with us for everything else going on around the music world.
Diverse interviews, music reviews, and in-depth discussions.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it.
K.L.P has all the topics, stories, and gossip. It is now time for our top story from K.L.P.
Yeah, so our top story for K.L.P here on the Spectrum Podcast. Now, I wanted to switch it up when it comes down to giving you guys topic stories, because within the Spectrum Podcast today, we already got the news going from all of our podcasters. Shout out to all the podcasters that's on the show real quick. Just real quick, because you guys that are podcasting your topics and podcasting your subjects here on the show, you guys make the show happen. Now, I wanted to switch it up today because I like to have great conversations when it comes down to it. And I wanted to play a little snippet, of course, from The Breakfast Club. You got to shout out The Breakfast Club for sure. So let's let this play.
Just hilarious. Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. If you just listening, Charlamagne gave
You're tuned into the swanky one.
The executives
New K.L.P.
5.3 to beat. Me and Justin trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
What you mean? Y'all saw the same thing that I saw.
I did, but you more inside than we is. I don't know.
You called them crackers. We wasn't going that far.
Oh my God, I thought y'all was. See, that's the thing.
Well, Louis V is the program director. He's black.
So you called him a black cracker.
But his name is Vladimir.
He acting like that. He acting like one of
His
them.
last name is Vladimir.
Out to him trying to figure out what's going on. Now, since Donkey of the Day, he done text me. He done call you.
Yes.
How about this? What we doing? The hell you mean this?
Yeah,
what we doing?
No, don't be trying to be black now. Some of this what we doing, boy. What? No. Don't even hit my phone.
So we're asking, since we got dropped from 105.3 to beat in Atlanta.
And I might be putting the cart before the horse, guys. That's actually going to be elephant in the room today, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Nina Brown, salute to my sister down, and salute my sister Teresa in ATL.
Shout out to Atlanta.
Yeah, we're asking, what's the most disrespectful way you found out you were fired?
Well, what about you? You've been fired 6 times.
I've been fired 4 times from radio.
Your sister fired you from Wendy's. That got to be the most.
Yeah.
Don't
Your
talk about.
sister.
Taco Bell.
Sister was the manager, fired his dumb ass.
I was there for like 2 weeks.
Damn.
I don't think I've ever been fired in a disrespectful way. Like they just always call me in the office and tell me the same thing. We moving in another direction.
Yeah.
It's the most unprofessional way I've ever heard of being dropped from a station. What 105.3 The Beat did in Atlanta, because I should not hear this from the internet before I hear from anybody.
That's true.
Here.
No, that's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I can understand the frustration
What about you,
again. Their topic's
never
going to
been
be
fired.
my elephant in the room,
I
too,
was-
by the way. But
It was
I'm
that
putting
one
the cart
time-
before the
remember
horse, y'all.
The story about McDonald's, right? They really felt bad for me.
You're tuned into the swanky
I was
one,
stealing.
new
They didn't want to take me to court.
K.L.P.
They just brought me in and was like, "We know that you just had a baby and all that. We could really take you to court and get you put behind bars, but we're just gonna let you go."
But you were stealing for a good reason. You were stealing apple pies.
Absolutely.
And selling them.
Nah.
No, I was not stealing apple pies.
She
No,
was
I was not.
She was stealing
I
apple
was
pies
stealing
from
out the
McDonald's
register.
and selling
No,
them.
I was stealing apple pies.
Yeah, but she had just had the baby. What you expect her to do?
$1
No,
pop,
that's
she
not
stealing-
what do you expect me to do?
How many apple pies did you sell?
No, I stole money out the register because I was the manager
God.
overnight, and we go on manual. And
You're
and I
tuned
was
into
stealing
the
money.
swanky one,
And
you got
new
caught?
somebody snitched on me
K.L.P.
because I didn't break them off like
why you
like
didn't
I
break 'em
should have. I did, but they thought they should have got more because they was.
What's the most you
a
ever
part of
stole?
it. I'm not even ready to do that.
All right, so they're talking about, just stealing stuff. That's not the topic of the conversation. So, our topic of the conversation, what is the most disrespectful way that you've got fired? And I guess this is kind of me talking about, my past job experiences as well. I'm glad to be talking about this because I don't think I ever talked about this as much as of late because, we're switching gears and getting some things switched around. But I am happy to say that I don't think I've never been fired from a job. I've been let go. So if I were to leave a job, I left in my own merit. I don't think I was ever fired from a job, I would say. Now, comment below if you've been fired from a job, because honestly, getting fired from a job is not cool. It's not fun, but I think a lot of people should not be afraid to get fired unless if you really did something dumb and you end up getting fired, then yeah, it might be a walk of shame. It might be a little bit of embarrassment when it comes down to it. But yeah, I've never been really had that experience. My first job that I left, I gotta say, and this one is a good lie. I left on very good merits because I was graduating. But when I was a work study student at my college, I did sports production. And of course, I had to walk away because I was graduating. And then I couldn't be a work study student while I'm graduating, right? That's the whole purpose of it. You have to be an enrolled student to do a graduation or be an enrolled student to do work studies. So I ended up walking away from that. I was an RA when I was in college, and I don't want to say I was fired per se. I was sort of let go, but it wasn't really on paperwork. I messed up my GPA, so I did not renew for that next year of me being an RA. So that's one job that I had to, let go and go on my own merits. The first time I worked in hospitality, I walked out. I resigned because of COVID. And at that time, it was a different management company, by the way. So it's a different company, different thing, different time. And when it was COVID year, I wanted a raise, right? And I wasn't getting the proper raise from the proper management. So I ended up saying, okay, well, I'm leaving because at the time in 2020, COVID, Amazon was the hottest thing you could do right now. Because with Amazon, everybody was getting paid up to $18 an hour just to deliver packages. And then at that time, I'm like, okay, that's easy money that I can do. And, I ain't got to deal with, people out there who don't want to wear a mask and don't believe in quarantine and don't believe in COVID. I was able to not really deal with that. But let me tell y'all, when y'all work for a place like Amazon, that is the most hard job you can ever do. Amazon, FedEx. I don't want to put UPS in this equation because they're a little bit more relaxed with it. Of course, they got to meet their time frame, but they're a little bit more relaxed when it comes down to it. But let me tell y'all, when I worked for Amazon, it was a lot of hard work. It's a lot of heavy packages because, mind you, this was COVID year. So everybody was ordering anything. anything and everything on Amazon. You had a van stocked filled. It probably was against safety guidance lines, but packed of packages that you have to kind of fumble through, so that way which is which and where you got to do it. You're driving, you got to get up, you got to walk. It's a lot of walking, so you got to be physically fit for it. And at the time, doing Amazon in the summertime was not fun because it was hot, right? And the vans were hot as hell. So Amazon is a very, very hard job to do. I really don't recommend that for anybody. I really recommend chill jobs for everybody because Amazon, it takes a lot of work to do that kind of thing. So when my body was taking a toll, and I tell everybody, and this, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I tell everybody when it comes down to the show, or it comes down to your mental health and physical health, it gets affected with certain type of jobs, right? So my mental and physical health was affected by the Amazon job that I had, and Emory called me up. And I ended up working for Emory, and then I left Amazon. So with that job, again, I can't say that I was fired. I resigned. So it's different when it comes down to doing a resignation and getting fired, right? I always tell everybody between the two, resigning is better than getting fired, but I can say now, based on my work experience, that you don't necessarily have to give 2 weeks notice, right? We all have to understand, and I'm not trying to get off topic, but it's related. We all have to understand there's a difference between doing a 2 weeks notice and then just leaving effective immediately. You don't have to give your 2 weeks notice, because you guys got to remember, here in Atlanta, in Georgia, we are an at-will state, meaning that, you can work a job at your will. You can get fired at will of the company. They can fire you for smelling wrong, right? Or they can fire you for looking at somebody, weirdly, right? I mean, those are just small examples. I mean, you can still find a way to get a lawsuit going for that. If you're fired for looking at somebody weird, not in a harassing way, but like if you just not stare at them, just give them like a quick look, and you get fired for that, that's a lawsuit, right? But we are at will, right? Companies can fire you at any time for any reason, and you can also leave at any time for any reason. And I say that to say my next point after this point, I really learned about when you do your resignation, you have to be careful how you do it and what job you do it for, right? Because the one job that I did give my 2 weeks notice was Amazon. Because I was young, I didn't really know too much. And then when I worked for worked for Emory for 2 years, good 2 years. That job I actually did genuinely enjoyed. I learned a lot in facilities, and it was great. I met a lot of great people. So it's one of those things where, hey, it was a good job. It was an entry level job. So it was cool. Working in university, it was cool. Of course, it has its lows. I've been in some troubling times. I've been in some weird times working at Emory, but also been in some great times as well. So right when Georgia State called me up, I said, hey, this job was worthy enough to do my 2 weeks, right? I had a ball here. It was just the commute was kind of far for me. And again, at the time, as I look back on it now, at the time, I thought Georgia State was the greener grass on the other side, right? Obviously, I'll get to them in a minute. But I ended up, giving my 2 weeks notice for Emory, and I felt that it was very good time. Now, one thing I do notice that, at the time when you do your 2 weeks notice, people will ask you where you're going, what job you got, what you're trying to do. And you have to be careful who you tell your shit to. I've learned that a long time ago. You have to be careful who you tell your shit to. You can't tell everybody you move, right? But the point I'm making is I've had it to where colleagues, they go and tell people that they're planning to leave, and then management find out that, hey, I'm planning to leave. And now that you do your 2 weeks and you try to get your PTO paid out to you, then they say, no, you'll have to get it on your next check. Again, you got to be careful how you do it. Now, what I always do when I find a new job, I make sure I secure a new job first, and then I'm quiet as a mouse, right? And then when it happens, but I'm not going to let you know in the head, oh yeah, I'm thinking about doing my 2 weeks. Oh, I got this another job I'm looking at. No, you don't tell people your next move. because people gossip, people talk, right? So when I moved to Georgia State at Emory, I didn't tell anybody. I was quiet as a mouse. And then I did actually tell one person, but me and her, we were real cool that worked at Emory. But besides her, I kept it quiet. Right, T? I kept it so quiet. So once you keep it quiet, then you know that you're in a good light. And then after that, when Georgia State called me up, hey, I'm out. Here's my 2 weeks. But that job was worthy of the 2 weeks. The supervisor at the time at Emory, he did try to pry a lot, which was getting kind of annoying at the time because he really tried to understand why I'm leaving. And I would tell him, I'm leaving because it's not him. It's not the job. It's not like I'm unhappy. It's just, hey, I found something that's going to pay me a little bit more. Right. So I thought, because when I got to Georgia State, hey, everybody knows my leaving for Georgia State. It was, I thought it was greener on the other side. It was not. I'm always going to tell my truth to this to relate to Emory, because the question is, have I ever been, what was the most disrespectful way to get fired? So far, I haven't gotten disrespectfully fired or disrespectfully resigned after Emory, right? Because all the jobs that I did, I resigned peacefully. And it was mutual, right? I think my most disrespectfulness, and it's good to talk about it now because, I was talking to my brother because everybody knew that I had left Georgia State after 3 months. And, I'm a little bit more happier now. And my stress reliever and my anxiety is down, which is great. My mental health is back to where it should be. My physical health is back to where it should be. And I feel more happy now with what I'm doing currently. But to answer the topic's question, what's the most disrespectful way to get fired? And I'm going to add or to resign, right? Because I'm always going to say with Georgia State, I was never fired. I took this as a minor loss, right? Because I was so passionate about what that job meant. And for some of you guys who didn't know, assistant director for Res Life at Georgia State sounded like a good title, right? And I took this as a small loss because I was a passionate person about it. But I am glad that I left because, when you work with people, you dealt with people who are bullies, right? I've worked with a team in one building, and I'm trying not to give names because, I want to be disrespectful about it. But one of the buildings there at Georgia State, it was a team, 2 residents, they were bullies, right? And I didn't appreciate the bulliness of them. I didn't appreciate the anxiety that I would get coming into the office, the toxic energy that they bestowed on me and other colleagues there. And, they had a team to where they were ganging up on one, not like physically, but like talk shit about one person for doing the very best that they can. So one thing that I did do before I left was I walked around the buildings because there's more buildings at Georgia State. I went to other directors and I was, they found out, of course, the email went out, hey, I'm putting in 2 weeks. And I'm talking to all of them and I say, hey, you're great. There's this one director in particular. Shout out to Shay. I got to shout her out. But she was a person that felt bullied, that felt bullied by my team that I worked for at that time. And I told her, hey, you're doing an extraordinary job. You're doing above and beyond because of one building catch fire last year, right? So she had to deal with that and all the other things that came with it. And, she had a new hire. Shout out to Eileen, her assistant director, right? So they had to deal with a lot. And I saw that they had to deal with a lot. And I commend them for doing what they did. And I told Shay, like, don't feel like you're getting bullied. If you do feel like someone's bullied, because we all know, we all see it, but don't feel discouraged when someone bullies you. And because that's one thing that I felt when I was bullied at Georgia State for 3 months, right? My supervisor and my other supervisor, I felt that bulliness. But I had the courage to say, and I cried. I did. I cried. I told my family this, and that would be the first and the last time I cry about a job. First and last time. The reason why I shed a tear and I cried to the HR representative at the time, and I felt like she didn't really care because she was leaving. She got a new job too at that time, so she was on her way out the door. So I can tell she didn't really care. But I felt very passionate about the job that I had. So that's why I cried. That's why I shared my emotion, because this was something that there was some things I wanted to accomplish at Georgia State. Unfortunately, I'm not able to now because of this reason. And I felt my mental health affecting badly. I prayed to God every day. I talked to my sister and my mom. They knew I was very upset about the job, and the supervisor at the time that I worked for, she was how she was, right? But, and I'm always gonna say she's an evil bitch. Sorry, but she is. Shout out to the evil bitches out there. But anyway, so I felt that emotion. I felt, kind of betrayed a little bit. I felt bullied. So I told that to Shay, and I said, hey, I had to find my courage to say, fuck it, I don't need this. Right? Because my health, mental health, that's number one. You guys know in all of these shows we got, all my shows we do, I talk about it a lot. My mental health is the most important. I see it affect me very heavily when it's raw and when it's out of whack. I see it. It's bad. So I ended up to the question of the topics of this morning's podcast topics. I think that is the most disrespectful resign that I've encountered. Not on my part, because yes, I ended up, after everything that happened, I ended up finding a new job and going back in hospitality. And I realized the market, and I realized how much money I can make, and how can I achieve. And now I'm a vendor for Marriott International now. So, hey, shout out to them for that. I really evaluated like, okay, so if I leave Georgia State, I'm going to be 10 times more happier, right? Not dealing on the residential side. It is never against the residents, dealing with students. Yeah, you deal with them, but I enjoyed that part because I would play a counselor, right? They would come to my old office and they would just talk and try to express their concerns and talk to me about things that are not too personal, but things that they can just sort of sit down and talk to and just kind of relax. I was that guy, which that never is going to persuade me not to go back into higher education because of residents, because I really enjoy residents. It's the workers, it's the managers, it's the other directors that I couldn't stand. So after that, I ended up going and, of course, putting in my 2 weeks. Noticing, though, because I just made a point about you don't have to give your resignation. It's good to do a resignation because you never know who might be watching. You never know when you may need that network again. You never know. So I left peacefully, but boy, did that supervisor make it hard for me. Of course she did, because she was bitter. She was mad that I was leaving. Now I'm putting her in a bind because now she got to catch up on my work that I'm supposed to be doing. She's mad, right? Them last 2 weeks were like, and actually, to be frank with you guys, this is the point where when I say, when you do your 2 weeks notice, you can, because it's always, they say it's the right thing to do, but you are not required to. Because guess why? We are an at-will state. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia, at-will state, to where you can quit or you can resign at any point. You can say effective immediately, and you will not get penalized for that. That's law. So what I ended up doing was, of course, and at the time, hospitality needed me to start sooner. So I turned my 2 weeks notice short to about a week because I had to start my new job, right? I had to start my new career, my new outlet. And boy, did she not like that, right? They were all at a conference. She didn't like it. This is the part where you say, you don't have to give a damn if someone don't like it that you're shortening your resignation, because you could say effective immediately. And that's what I should have did. I didn't do it, but effective immediately, you can say that and you cannot get penalized for that. It's law. You shouldn't be afraid if you do that, you won't get your PTO paid out to you. No, that's wrong. You will get your PTO. You may not get your PTO paid out to you on that week's check. That is true. But every job, when you have benefits, that company is required to pay you out your PTO if you have any, right? Because if they don't, now you have a law case. That's law, civil law. You have to get paid your PTO. So I say to a lot of people, if you do resign, for you to try to resign from a job before getting fired, because resigning is a little bit better than getting fired. It is. But you don't have to do your 2 weeks notice. And to answer that question, I think that's the most disrespectful way for me to resign was at Georgia State when I shortened my 2 weeks to 1 week and I just dipped. Right? I dipped. But, and I can tell it's disrespectful for the old supervisor because I know she didn't like it, but I ended up telling everybody before her. Right? Because, baby girl, I fuck with everybody that fuck with me back. Right? I rock with people who knew I was going through some stuff at Georgia State. A lot of people knew and saw the signs of what's going on. Obviously, they work there, so they're not going to say a peep, but they knew. They rock with me. I'm just that good. Right? So that is the most disrespectful time that I've been, that I resigned. Again, never was fired. But I thought I would bring that up because I don't think in the previous podcast, I never expressed what happened. A lot of people were shocked when I met with Matt. Shout out to Matt Mahoney and GGC. I told him what was going on. He was like, really? I'm like, yeah. Thank you for your reference. But it wasn't what I thought it was. So, but let's just say, more to say here on the show. I've been waking up. My sleep's been better. My anxiety has been down, which is great. My mental health has been better. My life has just been better. I'm more smiling nowadays, let's say in the last 3 months that I haven't been. So I'm okay. I'm cool with it. But you guys put it in the comments below. What is the most disrespectful way that you've been fired or let go? We want to hear from y'all for sure.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it.
K.L.P. has all the topics, stories, and gossip. It is now time for our top story from K.L.P. Either a rumor or a report. It is now time for the Rumor Report. Now on the Spectrum Podcast.
Tems reveals when her debut album will arrive. Ever since she broke through with an appearance on Wizkid's 2020 song Essence, fans have been eagerly awaiting a full-length project from Tems. That anticipating increased even more when she was featured on the Drake and Future hit Wait For You in 2022. Now fans who have been patient with the Nigerian singer finally know when they will hear her debut album. While she didn't announce a specific date, fans surely won't have to wait long to hear the record. She took to Twitter to share an announcement earlier today. Born in the Wild. The album. May 2024 her tweet reads. It revealed both that the album is called Born in the Wild and that it will drop sometime next month. Though the album being so close without having a release date is unconventional, it hasn't stopped fans from getting excited. The tweet also included a video that appears to be a 60-second teaser of an upcoming music video which also teases some new music from the singer. Check out her announcement and the preview of new music below. Last month, Tems made waves for a viral clip that circulated online. In the video, someone photographing her is so stunned by just how good her figure looks in her dress that they audibly comment on it. The video had fans both laughing and agreeing with the reaction after seeing just how good the singer looked. Earlier this year, Tems also found herself in a short-lived Twitter beef with ATL Jacob, who worked on production for her Drake and Future collab Wait For You. The pair went back and forth over the legitimacy of rumors that she somehow slowed the release of the song by extending the sample clearing process. What do you think of Tems announcing that her long-awaited debut album is dropping next month? Are you looking forward to the release of Born in the Wild? Let us know in the comments section below.
Diverse interviews, music reviews, and in-depth discussions.
Lupe Fiasco is hungry for rap beef amidst Big 3 battle. Lupe Fiasco is still going strong. The Chicago MC may be a 20-year veteran in the rap game, but his skills are sharp as ever. He's also experiencing a resurgence in popularity as evidenced by his recent performance at Coachella. Lupe ran through his classic hits and then paused his set at one point to make a bold announcement. Drake and Kendrick Lamar may be the top of the food chain in terms of relevance, but Lupe asserted that he would demolish any current rapper in a battle. It gets better. Lupe Fiasco not only promised to demolish any rapper who stepped to him, but made it clear that he wants it to happen. He's ready for the smoke. I don't give a F ***K how many records you sold, he told the Coachella audience. If you want smoke, I swear on my mudhalf *** kin soul, I will walk through an *** as. I will chew up an *** as. I will body mudhalf *** Cass. Lupe then UPS the ante by calling out artists like Tyler, The Creator, and Bad Bunny. I don't care, he added. I do this **T for real. It's not a stretch to connect Lupe's comments with the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef. Lupe has had heated exchanges with Lamar in the past, and he even tweeted about the Compton rapper on April 8th. The competitive streak carried over to X, formerly Twitter, where Lupe, quote, tweeted his Coachella performance and doubled down on his promise to destroy any and all rappers. Had to add my little comment to the current narrative, Lupe wrote. Folks been sideways on socials and in the media at me all week like I won't casually wrap these boys and girls into the shadow realm. Either spawn in and smoke it up or let me finish watching these Cybertruck reviews. The Cybertruck line is a reference to Lupe Fiasco's latest single, LLC. The Chicago rapper absolutely skates on the track, taking others to task for being false prophets and mocking those who take his skills for granted. Hawaiian lectures in Madagascar raps, he spits. Should I get the Cybertruck or bring a gas car back? Only time will tell if there's a rapper brave enough to give Lupe the beef he wants.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it. It is now time for the elephant in the room. K.L.P. Who's the biggest elephant today?
Yes, the biggest elephant of the day, T, goes out to, and I hate to say this because it goes out to Atlanta 105.3 The Beat. So if you have tuned into the podcast today and watched the beginning of the show, I talked about the most disrespectful way of getting fired or getting resigned. Go rewind it if you missed it for sure. But of course, I got to talk about it. Now, here's the thing that sparked my interest to talk about this. And I know we're playing, the Breakfast Club content a lot, but shout out to them because they're just doing it right. So let's go and do that.
You're tuned into the swanky one. New K.L.P.
goes to the suits, the executives at 105.3 The Beat in Atlanta. Dropping the clues bombs for everybody listening to us in Atlanta.
Shout out to
I don't know
Atlanta.
if they are this morning. But,
shout out to you, Breakfast Club. We love y'all down here in Atlanta.
I don't know who to aim at yet. And I hate to bring internal work things to the public because I know y'all don't care. But the same way every now and then y'all vent about your place of employment. Every now and then I have to vent about mine too. We, the Breakfast Club, are blessed to be syndicated in over 100 markets. We truly thank God for it all.
They are too. They're on a lot of great markets.
Monthly listeners that make that possible.
I would love to be on the Breakfast Club.
One of those markets is in Atlanta, Georgia, 105.3 The Beat. We do very well in that market. We also have the second annual Black Effect Podcast Festival happening in Atlanta, April 27th. Thank you. Go get your tickets right now.
I got to see about my schedule because I was trying to go, but I may not be able to go. But we'll see.
But on Friday, I saw this pop up on Baller Alert. Did y'all see this?
Shout out to Baller Alert.
Yep. It was sent to me. Let me see. Damn, I can't even find it now.
By my friends in Atlanta.
Old last phone he got. He can't even pull it up.
What they say?
Jesus.
Oh, here it goes.
They say, wow, y'all not going to be broadcasting in Atlanta no more?
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
They're kicking y'all out, Josh, because you can't read. I'm like, what?
So it's your
that would not be the reason because I can't read. What?
It said on Baller Alert, sources confirm the Breakfast Club, and they use this very pixelated picture of us. It says sources confirm the Breakfast Club to be dropped from 105.3 FM lineup in Atlanta. The reason I'm bringing this to radio is because I've been asking about this a little bit this weekend, and I ain't getting no answers. You get any answers, Davey?
I did not.
Just hilarious. You get any answers?
I didn't even ask. I was too scared. I thought it was because I couldn't read.
I've been trying to figure out what's up with this all weekend, okay? And nobody is responding. Louis V, the program director, that's our guy. Okay, we from South Carolina, 803 Metro. He not replying to me. What the hell is happening? Anytime y'all need something from us, we
New K.L.P.
When y'all got questions, we got answers. So how come now that I got some questions, we got some questions, nobody is replying, all right? I love being in Atlanta. Only problem I've ever had with Atlanta is the BS signal we on. Okay, it's a good signal, but not as strong as it should be. All right, we've been pushing for a stronger signal since we found out the signal was weak. Other than that, I have no problem with the ATL, but I do have a problem with corporate at 105.3 The Beat not informing us that we are being dropped from the lineup in Atlanta. Okay, who are these sources, and how do these sources know more than we do? Okay, very unprofessional for us to have to find this out via Baller Alert.
You're
and
tuned into the swanky one.
With you all, and it's a shame that I have to
K.L.P.
get on this radio and give y'all donkey today in order to get your attention. Now, I bet today I will get a call back.
Yeah, you probably
I
did.
bet one of us will get a call
Charlamagne
back
probably
today.
did. I'm
sure.
I'll probably get a text.
Right, this was,
All right,
this
probably
was a
within
day
the next
ago.
5 minutes.
That's right.
Why is Charlamagne doing that? That's unprofessional. Yeah, I'm matching energies. I'm matching unprofessional energies this morning. You don't like how I'm handling this. I don't like how y'all handling us. So I would like to tell Atlanta and the people of Atlanta, thank you. And this is just to the listeners and the listeners only. Thank you. Drop on the clues bombs for the listeners in Atlanta.
Now, Charlamagne the Guy, DJ Envy, and Jess Hilarious, we love y'all down here in Atlanta. I've been listening to the Breakfast Club for years now. Of course, they've been tied between them and now the Joe Budden podcast, because that's my new favorite podcast, right? But on behalf of us listeners and us radio podcasters and radio personalities here in Atlanta, to the Breakfast Club members, Charlamagne and DJ Envy and Jess, we are so sorry. If I was the owner or the executive of Atlanta 105.3 The Beat, I would keep you guys on, because let me tell y'all, and we're here on our radio station. We're independent, right? But when we're able to have other shows on our link, have other radio shows on our network, it helps us grow and it gets us some money, right? Because you got Power 105, that's New York. Now, besides that, and then they stream some of their shows on the actual Spotify app and iHeartRadio. But you might need that for the people who may not have access to all that. Where do they go to? They go to their radio, their car radio. So I'm a little bit sad for them about that, because I understand the frustrations of getting dropped from a category. And let me tell you, Charlamagne's coming down here in Atlanta next week for the podcast festival, right? So why would you drop, even before that, a couple days before that, why would you drop a great show like the Breakfast Club on your radio station? I don't understand that part. I don't get it. And for them to drop it, I understand Charlamagne's point when it comes down to it. They're getting dropped and they didn't know about it from them, the executives. It's that, it's the corporate industry that we dealing with. A lot of corporate industries, they drop people, they let go of people, and they won't tell them why. That's just the scary reality of working for corporate sometimes, is you can get dropped, let go, and they will not tell you why. Now, if it's for Atlanta 105.3 The Beat, if it's because budget cuts, because it is expensive, you got to pay your content creator, the Breakfast Club or iHeart, whoever really, or Power 105, you have to pay some sort of royalty or some sort of residual when it comes down to, hey, you have your show on our platform, we got to pay a fee for that, right? If it's because of that reason, from a business aspect, I sort of get it, right? Here at K.L.P Entertainment, I've made some cuts because of business expense. I understand that part. But the fact that you can't be honest, and I don't know if this is to be true or not, right? I just hope that, they're dropping them because of a legitimate reason. Don't drop them because of an excuse. Drop them because if there's a reason to, right? I'm pretty sure Charlamagne probably got a phone call yesterday about this. I'm pretty sure, but you can only talk to him, right? Charlamagne the God is the Mecca, or one of the two Meccas, because DJ Envy and Jess is now the new Mecca of it. He's him when it comes down to this kind of thing, being media and being a radio personality. So you cannot. I don't think Charlamagne's gonna get fined so much when it comes down to it. I think it just might be like a little conversation, right? Especially when they say they got a program director here in Atlanta 105 The Beat. That's their guy, and like he didn't even call Charlamagne the God. I understand that, but maybe that program director can't say anything, right? especially if the company is owned. Now, let's say the program directors, and there's no race card to it, right? But people, when you work in corporate, you're out for yourself, right? I've seen that happen in different companies and different corporations that, hey, we could be cool or fake be cool to you, but we're really not cool because it's sink or swim. I'm trying to take your cheese, right? It's survival of the fittest when it comes down to it. So maybe that program director can't say anything because if he find out that he's been, linking this information to him, he might get fired. And brother ain't trying to get fired right now because it's expensive. Gas high. Things are high right now. So it's very unfortunate when it comes down to the radio stations. I think, and here's my opinion. If I was owner of Atlanta 105.3 The Beat, I would keep them on simply because no matter what people are saying, radio is still thriving. Podcasting is still thriving. But I do think that there might be a decline in radio station markets. An actual station going to a signal and prescribing that signal to your car radio, that part might be dying. And the reason why I say that is because now you have the Breakfast Club because I listen to the Breakfast Club on Spotify, right? Whether it's their Donkey of the Day segment or their full interview segment, they publish that not only on YouTube, but also on audio platforms via mobile device, via your phone, right? So I'm thinking from a logistical and a project management, because I am in grad school, getting ready to graduate in 2 weeks. Oh, hallelujah with that. But I'm thinking of it from that aspect that, okay, you've got a market. How can you be competitive? Right? Because if you just taking your stuff off the Breakfast Club, the Breakfast Club's still making some money. Now, do I think Breakfast Club got competition between them and other podcasters? Yeah. Huge competition, as well as we do. But if I wanted to be competitive, I would have said, hey, let's keep them on if they're making me some numbers. I sure as hell hope they didn't drop them because of Jess, because I think Jess is the market right now. I think that she's helping the show gaining some traction right now. Some of the things she say is quite hilarious, pun intended, because that's her name. But I wouldn't have dropped them so quickly like that if there's a legitimate reason to. And I understand Breakfast Club crew, Jess, Envy, and Charlemagne, I understand their frustration. I really do, because that is like that is a disrespectful way of getting let go or getting fired, potentially. Like not telling your employees, not telling your people, hey, we're cutting you guys. And they had to find out through Instagram or through internet, right? I understand that point, getting let go of something and no one told me and I had to find out online. Yeah, that would have pissed me off too. Definitely would have pissed me off. So again, my vote goes out to that. But I think the Breakfast Club though will be successful without Atlanta 105 The Beat. That's just so unfortunate because we are also here. We also here in Atlanta. So it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm not trying to compare our radios because we're independent and they're a corporation, right? They're bigger than us, right? For now, right? But it's very unfortunate when radio stations here in Atlanta do that, because it now gives us a bad rep, because I want to build another radio station to go viral, and now that might have a bad taste in future radio shows' mouth, like, oh, they cut people down there in Atlanta, so I may not want to put my show in Atlanta right now. So I just it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate, but I do think the Breakfast Club will continue to be successful. It's just a very unfortunate thing. I wouldn't have not cut them if that was me, because there's a way that you can have the show on your network, and then could have been potential more partnerships, right? Where maybe Breakfast Club comes down to Atlanta for an event and just do a radio show down here for a minute, right? To change the pace, right? Just to see how it is, and then just kind of go vice versa to make them more money, make them more views, make us more content dollars and ad dollars as well. Again, a lot of companies need somebody with me with I'm about to have an MBA in business. A lot of people need MBAs in the office to kind of help them think, because a lot of these companies don't think. They just don't think about what they got going on. They just do whatever. And, this might bite them in the ass is what I'm saying. I think it might bite them in the ass in the long run. But hey, shout out to the Breakfast Club. But 105, Atlanta 105.3 to be, you are the biggest elephant of the room today.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it. It is now time for the elephant in the room. K.L.P. Who's the biggest elephant today?
Welcome to Osh the Spectrum Podcast, your go-to destination for all things hip-hop.
Adam22 calls out Joe Budden, proclaims No Jumper, Vlad TV, and DJ Academics. The big three. Adam22 is furious with Joe Budden and thinks that No Jumper, Vlad TV, and DJ Academics are the three biggest hip-hop outlets. In a video on No Jumper's social media pages, he compared the views for both his pages and Budden's. Adam began by claiming that someone sent him a clip of Budden remarking that No Jumper is in bad shape. "Let's do the science," he responded. Joe Budden's channel has gotten 12 million views in the past month. No Jumper's main channel plus our Clips channel has done about 26 or 27 million views for the past month. So, we are 2 times, by far, what you have going on. And on top of that, we kill it on Facebook. We kill it on Snapchat. We have 3 million followers on Instagram and we make a huge amount of money on there. From there, Adam added, "Joe Budden, I don't want to hear sh*t. You're running a chop shop." You might have the whole hip-hop media gassed into thinking that you're really killing it like that, but trust me, when you want to talk about who's really doing business out here, it's not you. There's a big three and you're not in it. It's me, Vlad, and that fat mother * Curry you were sitting with. Despite posting it on No Jumper, many of the fans in the comments section disagreed with Adam. No Jumper had potential to be the top, but y'all cover more LA gang bangin' and *** in than hip-hop, one top comment reads. Another argued, it's Academics, Say Cheese, and the Shade Room TBH.
Welcome to Osh the Spectrum Podcast, your go-to destination for all things hip-hop.
Channing Crowder wants smoke with Drake after rapper Cat calls his wife at concert. It seems every celebrity has a bone to pick with Drake. A recent video on X, formerly Twitter, has begun to go a little viral. Former Miami Dolphins linebacker Channing Crowder, one of the hosts of the Pivot podcast, recently went to a Drake concert and all seemed to be going well. However, the superstar rapper noticed Channing's wife, Asia Crowder, and really liked what he saw. "OS. The green right there, she fine as hell," Drizzy called out from the stage. It was quite astounding how he was able to spot Channing's wife from that far away, especially since she was in a suite higher up. Some might see this as fake and stitched together, but Asia was wearing a green top, so this looks to be real. Channing definitely did not seem too happy about it, saying, "Man, hell with him. I ain't worrying about Drake. I'll see Drake in the parking lot." On top of that response, Crowder shared the video on X, with a caption asking Metro Boomin and Future for a favor. "I Future and Metro. I see why y'all still don't trust him. This man was shooting at my baby from the air, speaking Celette, let me in the booth." We have already seen plenty of rappers get in the booth or take their shots at Drake. Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, Metro, Future, and more have all walloped on the boy. Getting a diss from a former football player would be the icing on the cake. What are your thoughts on Channing Crowder calling out Drake for catcalling his woman at a concert? Do you think we are in for a Metro Boomin, Future, and Crowder collaboration? Do you think this video was real or stitched together? We would like to hear what you have to say, so be sure to leave your takes in the comments section. Additionally, always keep it locked in with HNHH for all of the latest news surrounding Drake and all of his beefs. Finally, stay with us for everything else going on around the music world.
Either a rumor or a report. It is now time for the Rumor Report. Now on the Spectrum Podcast.
Keisha Cole addresses Hexncho dating rumors once and for all. In the world of entertainment, rumors often swirl around celebrity relationships. Today, Keisha Cole recently confirmed her dating status with Hankso, and fans everywhere took notice. The confirmation came via a tweet from Cole herself, where she boldly declared, "Mine at Hankso," leaving no room for questions. The dating rumors initially started when the pair were spotted leaving a club together in Atlanta. while there wasn't extensive interaction between them captured in the video footage, fans noted a significant moment when they locked eyes. Moreover, this was a subtle yet telling glimpse into their connection. As the night progressed, photos circulated the internet, further solidifying their relationship status. Images of K.L.P and Hankso leaving the club hand in hand was all over social media. Fans were quick to share their reactions, with many expressing surprise at the unexpected match and highlighting the notable age gap between the two artists. Now, with Keyshia Cole's confirmation of the rumors, the fans have more to say. I don't like this for her, it's given auntie and nephew, one fan said. With both artists working in the music industry, the two seem to share common interests. For K.L.P, a seasoned R&B singer known for hits like Love and Heaven Sent, this relationship marks a new chapter in her personal life. Meanwhile, Hankso, a rising star in the hip-hop scene, brings his own unique energy and style to the dynamic duo. While specific details surrounding the nature and duration of their relationship remain private, one thing is certain. K.L.P and Hankso's newfound romance has captured the attention of fans and media alike. As news of their confirmed relationship continues to make waves, the fans can't help but wonder what the future holds for Keyshia Cole and Hankso.
Destination for all things hip-hop. Join us as we dive into the colorful world of hip-hop music and culture.
Summer Walker and her new boyfriend ignore his allegations, live it up in Mexico. One woman, who goes by at Anasofa Kinku on Twitter/X, accuses Cashington of posting her explicit content without consent. Another, Miss B Nasty, later alleged that he told several people they were in a relationship when they hadn't even met. He wants to keep every model to himself and tries to control all their social media and even tries to control their personal lives, she wrote. I wish more people would speak up about his harassment and stalkerish P*MP ways. The pair has yet to address the allegations, but by the looks of things, they're unbothered. In a new clip Walker shared on her Instagram story last night, the two of them are seen dancing in the streets of Mexico, making the most of the performer's birthday trip. Her supporters aren't happy about her latest romance, and are sounding off in the comments section. Mun, all the damn stories I heard about this man, I'm just waiting for the breakup album, cause ain't no way this is gonna end well, one critical commenter writes. Others are coming to her defense, arguing that she's allowed to date whoever she chooses. Only time will tell whether or not they decide to comment on the accusations, but either way, it doesn't seem as though they're letting them get in the way of their good time. What do you think of the allegations Summer Walker's new boyfriend has been facing as of late? What about the couple looking unbothered on their trip to Mexico? Share your thoughts in the comments section down below, and keep an eye on HNHH for more updates.
Welcome to Across the Spectrum Podcast, your go-to destination for all things hip-hop. Join us as we dive into the colorful world of hip-hop music and culture, exploring the diverse interviews, music reviews, and in-depth discussions that showcase the full spectrum of hip-hop. Tune in and turn up the volume, because this is where the beat drops and the culture never stops.